I ask everybody come inside and please have a seat. Raghavendra, can you ask everybody to come and sit? Because of certain other programs, so everybody and being during the lunch, we have a slow beginning. However, pre-COVID, we used to have a 500 people from 14 countries in the past events. That's and the largest number of in-house council is, I would also invite Suman ji on the stage, please come. He is our vice president. Subhas Kasab ji is not keeping a good health, and that's why he expressed for the 1 month complete house locked right now. Another thing is this organization was established along with Sri Ramjet Malani ji and Subhas Kasab ji, and I'm very fortunate to have mentor like these people who supported me in our endeavor. As usually I usually say to start, before starting the conference, we are not a political organization. We are not here to criticize anybody. We are only to do one good act, if we can do. So criticism of any kind of we don't allow or we don't appreciate that quite well. And I must thanks for all these years we have such a people who are associated with us, and they are still continuing, and I will not take much time because everybody has to go to the Prime Minister function. So I would like to invite Mr. Suman Jyoti Khaitan ji say a few words, so everybody has to go, and please.
Professor S.P. Singh Bahelji, Minister of State of Law, Mr. P.K. Malhotra Sahab, Retired Secretary, Ministry of Law, Raghavendra ji, sorry, इसका नाम नहीं था, कहीं गलती से आपका कर गया, from the Ministry of Law, and all the distinguished participants. Should I speak with a mask or no?
No,
Rather.
मैंने already sanitize कर दिया.
I welcome the Honorable Minister of State and the other distinguished persons, including from the Law Ministry, to this August function. This is a big reminder how long and arduous task it was for a large country or like India to have a constitution. And this is also a reminder that a constitution was drafted and even what you could say, formulated by a group of very distinguished persons, far more distinguished than we are, including Ambedkar ji, Patel ji, Nehru ji, everybody. And this should be a good thought we should carry in our mind before we think of replacing or changing it too often. Although I'm also very conscious that we have amended it more than 100 times in a short span of 70 years, but still, the basic structure doctrine, which was actually formulated by the Supreme Court and which was not really a part of the Constitution, has also saved our country. There's also a time to us to remind ourselves of the great constitutional values. And as Kaviraj warned me, do not go political, so I will not go political. But every human being who in India is a citizen of India is entitled to all the rights, and we should continue to respect those rights. This is a great reminder for us. We're a strong federal country, and we should continue to remain strong and to have a rule of law. Sometimes people object and criticize the court for overstepping the boundaries, but we should remember the court has to overstep the boundaries only when the executive does not act. If we have a problem of pollution in Delhi, it is actually for the executives to act. If they do not act, then where do the citizens go? And the same thing can be multiplied in almost all walks of life, whether there's abuse of power by the executive, whether there's opening of school, or whether there's treatment in COVID. So sometimes the judiciary has to step in only to balance the laws. And I'm also very happy that this government has scrapped many of the old and obsolete laws which were not relevant, but this is actually a work in progress. As our members, law secretary, and people from the legislative department know, there's still a lot of obsolete laws and regulations which even now refer to British laws or Scottish laws or some other laws of other countries which need to be scrapped. Second thing we must remember is to have ease of doing business. Of course, that's a good intent, but if you see the recent amendments to SEBI, Companies Act, etc., it has actually created more difficulty in doing business. Since I'm also associated with some chambers of commerce, we have also given a note. The government has acted on it. They have removed a lot of criminal actions from the law, but a lot of things remain to be done. Most of us who have bank accounts, we know every 6 months we are asked to fulfill the KYC. I don't understand why you need a KYC every 6 months. That's another area where you have to see. And this, with the advent of IT, social media, loss of privacy and loss of data over the internet is a matter of grave concern. We know how easy it is to duplicate and create a false identity on the net. And of course, we are framing the IT rules, etc., but we have to again balance the issue of privacy and issue of security. Here, INBA, which was led by Kaviraj Singh, can play a hand. We can give inputs, both from the law students and from the universities. We can go into the minute details of each legislation, how to streamline it, and how to balance the interests both of the state and for the individual. All this I'm saying in a constructive way, because law also has to evolve over time. Things like internet, social media were not there when the law was formulated. And these are constructive suggestions which we, as common people who face the problems every day, and also lawyers who have some knowledge of how the court system works, can help so that you can improve the system. Another system, of course, which we need to improve, where the law minister can help in consultation with the judges and the CJI, is to improve the infrastructure of the lower judiciary. The best test is to go to the lower judiciary, not in Delhi, because Dwarka, Rohini, etc. are modern buildings. Go to a lower court judiciary in a small town, even in Calcutta. Therefore, you will see what is required. So this is only a food for thought. I hope it is taken constructively. With this, I would welcome the Minister once more so that we can have the benefit of his views. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sumanji, for your suggestion, and we will try to put in a paper and present to the Government of India. I would like to invite one of our earliest supporter, and he has been associated with us for a very, very quite long time, Mr. P.K. Malhotra ji. He has always blessed me, and I would like to ask him to say a few words to say whether we are doing it something right or no, wrong. He is the best person to tell us.
Professor S.P. Singh Baghel ji, Minister of State for Law and Justice, Mr. G.R. Raghavendra, Joint Secretary in the Ministry of Law and Justice, Department of Justice, Mr. Suman Jyoti Khaitan, Vice President of the Indian National Bar Association, Mr. Kaviraj Singh, Secretary General of the Indian National Bar Association, other dignitaries present today in this inaugural function of the two-day conference being organized by the Indian National Bar Association, as well as we are celebrating today the 72nd Constitution Day also. I think this day becomes very important from this point of view, that probably before 2015, there was no celebration of Constitution Day. It used to be a law day only, and that day, law day celebration was also among the people of the legal fraternity. Others were not supposed to know it because it was supposed that it is a baby of the legal fraternity only. I think that concept has been removed after the issue of the notification by the Government of India, Ministry of Social Justice, on 19th of, if I correctly remember, 19th of November 2015, when this was declared as a Constitution Day. From that day onward, now everywhere in colleges, in university, in government offices, and all other places.
We are the first one to celebrate the Law Day.
Yes, and from all these universities, now this is celebrated as a Constitution Day. People are made aware about the provisions of the Constitution, the preamble of the Constitution, which I